Bright lights, bright lights.
Hi and welcome to this week's Bright Lights of Roslin Unitarian Chapel, Hampstead. If you have a candle, now's a great time to light it with your family. We are the chapel of the open mind, the loving heart, I was going to say the loving hands, the loving heart and the helping hands. How's your week been? How are you? Now is a great time to press the pause to reflect button and to share your joys and concerns. I would say one of mine has been to see the blossom on the trees and all the beautiful flowers start to emerge. I'll put up a little picture of some of the blossom that I've seen, and I hope that you've managed to enjoy some of that this week as part of your joys. So do press the joys and concerns pause to reflect button. So we're in a new month, we're in April. April, here we are, and it's the new theme, and the new theme is all about becoming. Becoming. What does that mean, becoming? Do people sometimes ask you, what would you like to become when you're older? I used to get asked that all the time. Or sometimes we had language lessons at school and we had to learn in a different language. What job would you like to do when you're older? Well, it's not all about jobs, is it? Becoming. And it's a funny question because in a way you already are you, but you're growing and learning, and that's true of adults as well as children. So what does it mean to become? Well, I've had a little think about it, and I think to become means to grow, to be your best self, to do the things you enjoy, to help others and to be kind to the earth and to other people. So how do we do that? How do we become? And what does it mean? Does it mean just to get more and more of something? Or do we perhaps need to let go of some things before we let other things into our life? And does that help us grow and become our best self? Because as I've said in some other videos, things are always changing. In fact, you see that more than ever in the seasons when spring comes. It's like every day there's a new thing. Like I said to Jensen, we've got a silver birch tree outside our window, which is beautiful. But one minute I looked and it was like there were just buds or kind of empty branches, and then all of a sudden there were catkins, like little catkins hanging off with the seeds of the tree in, and I thought, hang on a minute, that's just changed so quick. That nature is always letting go of things to let new things in, isn't it? And that's how it grows and becomes itself in the world. So hopefully that makes sense. We have to let things go to let things in. And I've got a great story here all about letting go, and it's a Zen story, and it's about two monks and a woman, and it goes like this. A senior monk and a junior monk were travelling together at one point. They were in the countryside, I think, and they came to a river with a strong current. So it was moving fast and strong, the water. As the monks were preparing to cross the river, they saw a very young and beautiful woman also attempting to cross. The young woman asked them if they could help her cross to the other side. What would you do? You'd probably help if you felt strong enough, a bit like last week. Would you be in the right place like Samaritan to help? The two monks glanced at one another because they had taken special vows, special promises not to touch a woman. Then, without a word, the older monk picked up the woman, carried her across the river, placed her gently on the other side, and carried on his journey. Seems like a sensible thing to do, doesn't it? But the younger monk couldn't believe what had just happened. And after rejoining his companion, he was speechless. And an hour passed without a word between them. So they carried on walking as they had been in the countryside after the river, after the older monk had helped the woman. But neither of them said a single word for a whole 60 minutes. And then it says 2 more hours passed. Then 3 hours passed. That's like half the school day. And finally, the younger monk could contain himself no longer and blurted out, "As monks, we are not permitted a woman. How could you then carry that woman on your shoulders?" The older monk looked at him and replied, "Brother, I set her down on the other side of the river. Why are you still carrying her?" This simple Zen story is all about what we're thinking about. So what did the older one say to the younger monk? He said, "Well, I did carry her to help her, but as soon as I put her down, what did he do? He just stopped thinking about it." Whereas the other monk, the younger one, who was asking the older one, "Look, you know best. You should know that we're not allowed to touch a woman," had carried on thinking about her for like 2 or 3 hours, thinking, "Oh, I don't think we did the right thing, and we made the special promise," and he carried on holding on to that thought. So it's all about this idea of letting go and being healthy with that. It says this simple Zen story has a beautiful message about living in the present moment. How often do we carry around past hurts, holding on to resentments when the only person we are really hurting is ourselves? We all go through times in life when other people say things or behave in a way that is hurtful towards us. We can choose to think about it and kind of ruminate on it, which means to kind of rumble in our tummies almost, or have a little think and cogitate about it. But ultimately, this just saps us of our own energy. We can choose to let go of these things and be in the present moment now, right now. And that's all we have, over and over again, which is so beautiful because it gives us this possibility of a fresh start over and over and over again. See if you can catch the now. Got it? You got yours? Try and get some now. Now. It's very powerful stuff, that. Wonderful. There was a lesson, wasn't there, for the younger monk. So it's good that he asked, because he did have an issue with it and he couldn't understand why the older one acted the way he did, but he replied with such wisdom. So, do we have any worries? Are there things that we're holding on to that perhaps we can just let go of and move on? Sometimes it's good to have a think about things, isn't it? It motivates us to change. It's our brain's way of saying, do you know what? Maybe I could do things differently, or I might change things and I'll feel better, or help someone else feel better, or it'll be a healthier situation. So I've got a craft for you, and what you need is some lolly sticks if you have any, or even laundry pegs, that kind of thing, or even a stick from the garden if you want, and just some little pieces of wool or threads, or even old cloth if you've got some of that, and bring that to the table. We'll do a craft together. all about worry dolls.
So these are the things you'll need for the craft. You'll need some wool and some old bits of fabric, some tape or masking tape, some marker pens, some lolly sticks or some laundry pegs. And the idea is that we're going to make some worry dolls. We're not designed as human beings to worry as much as we do. And in Guatemala, they make these little worry dolls. It comes from a tradition or story where a tale that a princess received a gift from the sun god, which would allow her to solve any problem a human could worry about. Imagine that. And the idea is if you make your own little worry doll, you can tell the little doll your worry and then pop it under your pillow at night, and by the time you wake up, the worry will have gone. Amazing. And you might like to make some for you or for a friend or someone in your family. So let's make the worry doll. So the first thing I'm going to do is wrap some wool around my lolly stick. So there you can see I've wrapped my lolly sticks up, and one of them's got a little jumper and a little skirt, and the other one's wearing a big long orange dress. And I think, I don't know, later I might put some more blue around him and make him a bit fatter of the blue. I've wound round the string once, and actually the string stayed in place most of the time. I only needed a tiny bit of sticky tape for the fabric. Next I'm going to draw on any faces that I like, some smiley faces. And there we are, there's my little worry dolls. I've even stuck a little star on him, and I put some more blue on him. I did some little peaceful faces and a smiley face and a calm face. And I don't actually have any worries right at the minute, I don't think, but I'm going to keep them to hand, and when I've got something I want to share, I'm going to tell it to one of my dolls and tuck him under my pillow, and I know that my worry will have gone. Hopefully the worrying will have helped me solve my problem, and I'll think about the tale of the princess who got given the gift from the sun god. How cool is that? Taking away any worry that we have. How beautiful is that? If you do make a worry doll, do share them with me and send them in, and then these little guys can have some friends for the chapel. I might bring them in once we reopen and we can make some more.
I hope you enjoyed the craft. You're going to sneaky some under the pillow if you need to. And it brings me on to the last bit of the video, just to say Happy Easter! Happy Easter! It's Easter Sunday, and I hope you're having a fantastic time with your families, and eating maybe some chocolate eggs, or maybe some hot cross buns, or I don't know, or having just some healthy fruit, or whatever you're doing. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful time. It is a celebration to remember the things that Jesus did, of course, and the miracle that is Easter, and the things that he had to let go of and let in to bring his message that he wanted to bring to the world to everybody. So that's an important thing. And also the spring is here, and so we have to let go of the darker months and the cooler months, and invite the light in and the warmth, no matter if it gets too warm, you know, to embrace it and to let go of the winter months and to let the spring bring the summer. So that is another good way of thinking about this year and becoming. So I'll say the closing words with you now. As we leave this friendly place, love give light to every face. May the kindness that we learn light our hearts until we return. And I will be in touch with the idea of us having a picnic very soon all together. So hopefully we will return together, perhaps on the heath, and share some food or some time together. That would be really special. I'd like to blow out my candle with the chalice. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Take care and see you next week. Bye.
Bright lights, bright lights.